In the last video, we understood what exactly anxiety is. In this video, we'll talk about the signs and symptoms of anxiety. So, anxiety can manifest itself in many physical and psychological ways. And if we understand those ways, we are able to understand our anxiety and we are also ready to deal with that anxiety. So there are many small signs and symptoms of an anxious person. It's not important that you will get all the signs and symptoms in one single person, but there are many symptoms and signs which you will find a person who is in the state of anxiety. So first of all, a person who is anxious is not ready for a face-to-face conversation, which means that if you will message them, they can talk to you for hours. But if you want to have a conversation on the phone, they are not ready for that. They will generally avoid calls. Or even if you want to meet them in person, they are not ready to meet you in person. So a person who is anxious is not okay with a face-to-face talk. That person is basically self-conscious. The way he is speaking, the way he is walking, the way he is eating, he is conscious about all the expression that that person holds. He is conscious about the personality, the aura. So a person who is anxious is very much conscious about themselves. An anxious person is indecisive. A person who has anxiety is not even able to decide on small things of life. If a situation is given to them and you give them two options and ask them to choose between them, they are not even in that mental state to choose between those two options. So basically what they do, they leave their decisions on other. They discuss their problems with a lot of people about one single decision, and at the end of the day, they are not able to come down to a single solution. So they are indecisive. An anxious person gets very easily irritated. The person is irritated by anything and everything going around them. A single small thing can irritate them which has no meaning at all. So their irritation level is very high when that person is in anxiety. Anxious person always talk himself or herself down. Whenever there is a talk with oneself, a person will always give a negative talk to themselves. What is a negative talk? Even if the situation is perfectly normal, while they are talking to themselves, they will create all the scenarios in their head which are not positive about that scenario. And they will create a normal situation into a very huge problem, into a huge negativity, and they don't know how to deal with it. So they will always have that negative conversation with themselves. They always keep themselves busy because sitting idle gives them a lot of thoughts and they want to run away from thoughts. So they will always keep themselves busy in any unproductive work. The person is always overthinking past conversations. So they will just remember a conversation that happened many days or months before. They will sit down with that conversation and they will just think and rethink that conversation and try to create a mess out of that conversation. The person is always having negative thoughts. No scenario, nothing at all in this world looks positive to them. Everything is negative, every person is negative, their approach towards everything is negative. They just don't know how to create that positive era. Even if everything is going perfectly fine, perfectly smooth, they will find a problem in that. That is their approach toward everything. So these are some signs and symptoms of anxiety which if you observe in yourself or any other person around you, please take care of that person. Be with that person, help that person. Thank you.